There's just this thing about me that puts me in a box. I have dreams. I have ambitions. That's not the problem. I just never know where to start. So sometimes, I just don't start at all. And when that sometimes starts to become most times, it's easy to sit in pity and regret. But at a certain point, you need to buckle in and give up giving up. So, I want to make a song, if that wasn't clear enough already. I'm passionate about music, and I've played instruments for years, but I've never really tried my hand at making a song, so I figured that it was time. I'd be lying if I said that I hadn't written a few lyrics here and there over the years, but this is my first time actually sitting down and trying to write and produce a full song, and I really have no idea what to expect. I don't know that the final product will necessarily be radio ready because this is my first attempt at this, so usually that kind of stuff takes years of practice, but I'm optimistic, so let's see what I can do. I thought it'd be fun to take you guys along on the process with me, and hopefully you can get some inspiration from this at the very least, and at the most, enjoy the hell out of it. Now, cue the songwriting training arc montage. So many times, I've found myself wanting to do something, but never really knowing how to go about doing it. I think with time, I found that the learning and practicing process is actually what scares me away the most. For writing and producing music, I had imagined it would be pretty easy, and nothing but fun, up until a few years ago when I first tried to learn to use FL Studio to make beats and songs. I felt lost. I couldn't figure out the program, I couldn't find any sounds or instruments that I wanted, and I couldn't even get my keyboard to work with it. When I realized I couldn't just figure it out on my own, I gave up pretty soon after because the idea of taking time to focus in and learn from videos and other resources online was daunting.
I got my peaches out in Georgia, yeah, shit. I get my weed from California, what's that shit?
Basically, I wanted to be talented with the program without actually taking the steps to do so, and I was extremely disappointed by my findings. Okay, so I've done my research, I've learned FL Studio, I actually know how my MIDI keyboard works now, and I've picked up some melody and lyric writing tips. I feel way better equipped to take on the actual songwriting and producing challenge now, which has got me pretty amped. Don't get me wrong though, it is still a challenge. FL Studio has a lot of great functionality, but the learning curve can be pretty steep, it seems. On top of that, songwriting is no joke. When you really try to dive in, you really start to realize how impressive the minds of famous songwriters like Sia, Ryan Tedder, and Max Martin are. So while I am much more prepared now and ready to move forward with the process, I am nervous. But you know what they say, if you're not nervous, then you don't really care. And that's not the case with me. And so it begins. I had absolutely no plan for the song going into this. While that may just seem like laziness, I really just wanted to further challenge myself. In hindsight, that may not have been the best idea because it took a while to get the ball rolling. All I really knew was that I wanted to start with lyrics to be able to build the instrumentation around it.
Oh goddamn, I'm done being passive, sun comes out and the weather's fantastic, I'm playboy shit and you know I stay trapping like a turtle getting stuck in some motherfucking plastic. So tragic, how drastic, Chris Angel, I'm magic, like Johnson making free throws while you T-pose like Kreese though, I'm not a priest though, in beast mode don't freeze no. I'm up a level higher, your ass is a professional liar, cause you say you're the shit but you just smell like a bag of it on fire. Wow. You can really tell I wrote that in 10th grade, huh? Yeah, that's not it.
I didn't even know what genre I wanted to do. I listened to pretty much everything but country, which is a discussion for another time. So where do I start? Do I do a pop ballad?
Ever since you left, nothing feels the same. The thoughts inside my head won't seem to go away. Nah.
What about screamo?
What do you need? God, that sucked.
Scat?
Skip bop 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 skip it bop bop do it now bop 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 skip it bop. What the hell am I doing?
But then it came to me. Pop punk. Because I've always appreciated interesting and clever lyrics in songs, I knew that this was the perfect genre. I could be edgy and relatable to my overly troubled generation that I fit right in with, while also attempting to make a total headbanger. This was the light bulb moment.
My depression should be a lesson to the other guys like me, 'cause my obsession with getting a session and then smoking too much weed has gotten the best of all my friendships. Now they've lost all touch with me. Now I've got eyes on all the exits of this penitentiary. Okay.
Well, I finished the lyrics. I've been writing for the past few days and have finally come to something that I am actually really, really happy with. Instead of just sitting here and singing the song word for 3 minutes, I thought that instead I could give a bit of a walkthrough and kind of explain my process and talk about what I was thinking while writing it. I've always been a fan of songs that start with the chorus and kind of introduce the main ideas through the chorus that way, and they build off of it with the rest of the song. So I kind of wanted to do something similar with mine. So it starts out with this. My depression should be a lesson to the other guys like me, 'cause my obsession with getting a session and then smoking too much weed has gotten the best of all my friendships, and now they've lost all touch with me. Now I've got eyes on all the exits of this penitentiary. Because this idea of being in a penitentiary doesn't have a backbone in the chorus that really explains what it means, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to kick off the following lyrics with an explanation. That my mind is fully locked in, it's not new, this happens often, wipe my face, clean up the vomit, make a wish on each passing comet. How did I get here? It seems ironic. Cover the pain with a gin and tonic. It won't go away, oh I think it's chronic, so I'll just get high and go drive to Sonic. Following this, I felt that the song needed some kind of pre-chorus that slowly builds up into the chorus again. So I stuck with this rhyme pattern that I had kind of been working with for the majority of the song outside of the chorus, because I kept finding ways to use new words that kind of worked in there. To help give a bit of a vision of what the instrumentation would look like here, I imagine there would be muted guitar strums in the background here to kind of help with that slower, mellower vibe that is also a build-up to something greater. There's a lot on my mind, but at night she's on it. But being with me goes against all logic. Wondering why I'll present the topic. Join me in my cell, don't forget to lock it. So that last line actually ties back to the idea of my mind being imprisoned, which is actually an idea that I was introduced to by singer-songwriter Alec Benjamin, who I really look up to, and he's got a song called Mind is a Prison. So if you can guess what that song is about, there was a bit of inspiration here. I love the idea of somehow incorporating my sources of inspiration into a song. So I found that opportunity to use Alec Benjamin. Earlier, one of the lyrics was wipe my face, clean up my vomit, which I wish I could take credit for, but I can't. It's actually from an NF song called The Search. And he's also been an inspiration for me. So I've tried to work in these lyrics and ideas in ways that are kind of new and refreshing, but have a bit of a tie to people that I really look up to. Anyways, following the pre-chorus is, of course, the chorus again, but this time I would imagine that the guitar in the background would pick up a bit. It would be a bit more exciting than the first time, as the first time was a bit of an introduction, and now this is like concrete. This is what the song is about. After this chorus, I wanted to switch up the rhyme scheme a little bit and have an existential part where there are some deep questions being asked, only to be met with a disappointing response from a voice with a bit of a radio effect on it. But what if I let my guard down, lose touch, fade into the background, disappear? Now how does that sound? I said, how does that sound?
It sounds fine if you ask me.
Feeling this way has become iconic. I don't look at life with too much fondness. I grab the remote and I try to pause it, but I want to get better if I'm being honest. So following this, once again, would be the pre-chorus and then the chorus. And then following the chorus, I would like to have some kind of guitar solo in there where it kind of follows the same melody of the chorus and picks up a bit, has a bit of embellishment in there, adds a little bit of flair from what you see in the chorus, and then it dies back down a little bit to bring us back to a mellow point to end the song on a feel-good note where the lyrics of the chorus are rewritten a little bit while keeping the same elements from before, to have a bit of a wholesome touch at the end. My depression has been a lesson to the guy I used to be. I kicked my obsession with getting a session and then smoking too much weed. I'm making amends to all of my friendships, and now they're back in touch with me. Things have been better since reaching the exit of this penitentiary. And that's it. That's the song. For my first ever fully fleshed out lyrics, I'd say that I did a pretty good job of making something catchy, interesting, relatable, and touching to a degree. Now, onto the even harder part. Instrumentation. You don't know what you don't know. But that should never be a reason to not start and to not try. But rather, it should be the opposite. Let me explain what I mean by that. Before starting this journey, I really didn't know what to expect. While it was intimidating to begin, in the back of my mind, I still thought, how hard can it really be? It can be pretty damn hard. Like with most skills, learning to make an entire song from scratch takes drive, patience, and time. While I was able to check off the first two, I found that I didn't have the time that I truly needed to be prepared to produce the quality of content that I really wanted to produce. But instead of feeling defeated, I feel incredibly accomplished. And ultimately, I think that's what I want you to take away from this. If I had never even started, if I had never even tried, I would have never known how difficult this process could have been. And at the same time, I wouldn't have found the passion, desire, and motivation to carry on and continue this learning process past this impending deadline. But because I tried, because I made progress, and I let myself get invested, a whole new world opened up to me. So that leads me to the slightly disappointing fact that I didn't finish the song. In fact, I wasn't even able to build the instrumentation at all. The necessity of a crisp and real, or at least realistic sounding guitar threw a big wrench into things, considering FL Studio doesn't have very good guitar sounds and I'm not a guitar player myself. To be able to achieve my desired effect, I'd have to invest a lot of money and or time, both things that I'm running out of. Don't get me wrong, I tried. I tried, but I just wasn't satisfied with what I'm capable of doing right now. So instead of creating a beat that just completely doesn't match the lyrics or the genre I'm going for, I decided that I would leave it here for now. The lyrics I wrote for the song are something that I am incredibly proud of, because just mere weeks ago, I had really never thought that I could even get this far. And at the same time, this has given me the opportunity to make this video right here for you, which is something that I'm also very, very proud of. Up until this point, I've decided not to mention this, but this is my first time ever filming and editing a video. And I put my heart and soul into this. And so even without a finished song, I have this. Something that has helped me leave my own comfort zone, and hopefully something that can inspire you to do the same. So now, you may ask yourself, weren't some of the main points of this video supposed to be you learning and using FL Studio? Why was there even emphasis on the program when you didn't even end up using it? If you are asking yourself that, then maybe you'd be surprised to find out that every song that is played in the background of this video was made by me in FL Studio. So yes, I've put my learning to use. I've created various things that I'm very proud of, and I've uncovered new passions that I will carry with me from here on out. But now, I'll leave you with this one question. Are you ready to give up giving up? Of course I'm kidding. This is not the end. I'll see you in part 2.